the Quinn Marr Show.
My next guest is the star of one of the most viral videos of the early YouTube era. Fresh out of the dentist, loopy on meds, staring into the camera and asking the now iconic line, "Is this real life?" as his dad filmed the whole thing. The video has racked up over 140 million views, just past its 17-year anniversary, and in 2021, his family even sold it as an NFT. It is my pleasure to welcome to the Quinn Marr Show, David After Dentist star, David DeVore. David, how's it going?
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I just kind of want to get started. Normally what I do with my guests kind of go back. Obviously, when this happened with you, you were young, but I want to go back to the beginning of just kind of your life. So I know you grew up in Florida. What kind of hobbies did like a young David like? Like, was it sports for you? Was it movies? Was it video games?
Honestly, I kind of did everything under the sun. I mean, it was, the video came out when I was 7. So before that, honestly, I was still figuring it out. But I mean, even up into early childhood, middle school, hanging out with friends, playing video games, playing football and lacrosse. And those are my sports growing up, and kind of just doing whatever normal means, whatever a normal kid did at the time. So
Right.
yeah.
No, that's fair. I know you have a brother. Do you have any other siblings or just the one brother?
No, just one brother. Yep, one younger brother.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What does he care? Is he in school right now?
He is actually. So he just started his undergrad degree in January. He actually graduated. He took a gap year, so he graduated a little over a year and a half-ish ago. So he took a gap year, and then he's just starting college now.
Nice.
So
Oh yeah. One thing I normally want to ask my guests about, and it's funny because after the video went viral, your dad was in a bunch of things with you, like Tosh.0 and the Today Show, etc. Obviously, because he was the one that filmed it. But what did your parents do, and what do they currently do career-wise?
So my mom was in book publishing at the time. Now she does film distribution and that kind of industry. And my dad at the time, talking about back then, he was in real estate. But coincidentally, 2008, the video happened, and then the housing bubble happened. And this actually created an opportunity for him to shift into more freelance work. For a while it was related to the video, but then he's kind of been doing some other stuff on his own. And then now he runs a concierge service in South Florida. So
dude, what it's cool what can come from something like that, like just a random video that he just wanted of you after the dentist, and now he basically, like you said, it kind of career-wise it was kind of part of that, but now it's kind of branched off to something else. But thank God he had a camera with him that day, because obviously this is almost 20 years ago, so we didn't have not everyone had a phone with a camera on it. So it's kind of funny how you mentioned about your dad was in a completely different, he was in the real estate now, and now he's doing stuff that is kind of related to the video and then he changed it. But what are the odds that something so small like that by chance can turn into literally a career defining change?
Yeah, I mean, it really was just about taking the opportunities as they come. I mean, so many of the celebrities and internet stars that we know now are just off one moment. Especially, I mean, Vine was kind of a breeding ground for people who were able to take advantage of those moments. But yeah, I mean, he had a camera on him and he recorded it, and he didn't even share it with the intent of it blowing up. It was really just to share with family, and then it blew up, and it was just about, like I said, taking advantage of that opportunity. So
I read that he brought his camera to take a video because your mom wasn't there, so he did it for her. Is that true?
That is true. My mom, a little bit of background on the procedure. I had a form of hyperdontia, which means I had an extra tooth, and it was growing. Yeah, I had an extra tooth, one extra tooth. I don't know why only one. It was weird. But yeah, and my uncle on my mom's side had the same thing happen to him. And it was a traumatic procedure because they didn't find it till he was 17. And by that point it was just a more traumatic procedure. But anyway, all that to say, she just wanted to be there, and she couldn't. She had meetings she just absolutely couldn't get out of. They were, budget meetings and things like that. And so yeah, and I don't know if you remember flip cameras.
Yes.
That was like our obsession as a family at the time. And so he just had one on him, and that was what he recorded the original video on. So
now, one thing when I was just kind of like doing a little bit of research on it, obviously, like I watched the video almost 20 years ago, like when I was a kid, but I never realized your dad's YouTube channel is like Booba124 or something like that. What is does that mean anything?
It's like the nickname my mom has for my dad. I don't even know where she got it from, but it's just like their couple's married nickname. That's all it is.
It's so funny because he never changed it. It's been the same name. Like the YouTube channel never changed.
Yeah, and what's fun is that's case in point to what I was saying. I mean, he had no intention of it becoming a thing. It was a personal account. Facebook wasn't a thing. He just made it spur of the moment, made the account, and then posted it just so family could. Because then there was only private and public. There wasn't even an unlisted option at the time on YouTube.
Oh,
and
true.
Private capped it to 25 people, and so with the 25 person limit, he just thought it wasn't worth it. So yeah.
So, I mean, this is a tough question because obviously you're so little. Do you have actual recollection of the experience, or do you think it's like the dentist itself, or do you think it was more so you seeing the video so many times now that like you think you remember it, but it might just be from seeing the video?
I think a bit of both. I definitely remember leading up to it.
True, because you said it was for your uncle, so you probably were scared.
Yeah, I was nervous. And even outside of that, they didn't really tell me all that stuff, but I was definitely nervous. I had a fear of needles growing up.
Oh.
And
probably like big ones too, I bet.
Yeah, they were. I just didn't like, shots and stitches and all that stuff. So that was I was really nervous about. So I remember leading up to that because I was scared. And then after, it's like fuzzy pieces of memory. I mean, definitely, it was definitely under the influence of anesthesia. So, have some foggy memory there. And, slowly through the rest of the day. But definitely, yeah, I don't know. That's honestly a good question. I'm having a hard time. I've definitely like pieced together parts that were and weren't, actually a part of my memory. But there was definitely a good bit that I remember. So.
Have you, like, how many times do you think you watched that video yourself? Got to be hundreds?
Definitely a lot. Probably not as much as people would think. I mean, outside of, that period of time when the video first happened or was first created to, it being on YouTube, I watched it a good amount just because it was more of a funny home video at that point.
Especially when you're 7 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think as it started to get bigger, I really would just watch it because, you'll go on these segments and they're like throwing a clip on to kind of introduce you and things like that. So I would watch it then, but yeah, probably not as much as you'd think, but I've seen it a lot. So
it's funny that, like, I know you said like your dad was just kind of showing people for a little bit, but like there was such a big gap between when he filmed it to when he actually posted it on YouTube. Because I think you guys filmed it in May and they didn't post it until that following January. So you said just in that time gap, it's just because he was showing people and then the cap got too high. So he just let it go public.
Yeah. I mean, so kind of, we've got a big family on both sides. And then I think we have, I'm sorry, I was just lost train of thought. We have a big family on both sides, and it just kind of, it was getting shared. There's a lot of us, like I said, and he just got tired of having to send the link to everybody. And then, and like I mentioned, Facebook wasn't a thing. So he just, and then on top of that, also, like I said, there was no unlisted option on YouTube at the time. So it really, that was why. But yeah, so, I mean, but to answer the question you asked, it was definitely, I was usually there when he was showing someone the video or someone was asking to see it. And so I just saw it a ton.
True, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now I read that, and I know sometimes the internet could not be totally true, is that it only took a couple days when like millions of views started racking in. One, how accurate is that? And two, what do you remember of those first few days of it going viral? Because I know like going viral, that was new at the time, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. That's one where, for whatever, it felt like, because it definitely took, it was 3 days and it was at like 3 million views. So that was kind of, it was nuts. But my memory of that point to then when we, because pretty quickly we were flown to New York for the Today Show. That was the first thing we did. And I don't remember the exact time gap between the two, but I remember it feels very quick in my mind. And it definitely was quick. But that was just, yeah, I just wasn't able to comprehend, what was happening. I was just like, oh, okay. And I was just going with the flow. I mean, I enjoyed it.
School, being 7 or 8 years old and getting missed school for whatever reason sick, let alone because you're getting flown to New York to be on the Today Show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was definitely a cool experience. And I just loved, I think at that time, all I saw it as was a reason I was getting to go, exactly like you said, get out of school and go on these fun trips. So I wasn't really grasping, or I think I got it on a surface level, but kind of understanding the bigger picture of it, I just wasn't getting it.
What was it like at school at that time? Like, were people going nuts? Like your buddies were all fired up and stuff, or?
I think a little bit. It was actually more. It was because I was 8, so I was in elementary school. So it was more people in like, 7th and 8th grade. It was everyone a year or two older than us, and they were the ones who would make comments. But my class specifically, they were in the same boat as me. I think they just didn't understand what was going on.
True.
So, not a ton from my buddies, and that didn't happen until later. I would say
that's fair. Like, like maybe even new people too. Yeah, and I guess that makes sense because that was a weird age gap or age that you were in, because like nowadays, obviously, like 7 and 8-year-olds have TikTok nowadays, Instagram. Like then, like it was the early YouTube era. Like I said, Facebook was barely a thing. MySpace, like a 7-year-old's not using MySpace. So like you were in that weird like spot of age.
Yeah, no, definitely was. It would have been a lot different now.
Yes.
If I was 8 now, and
you ever think about that? If that happened, like if you were 8 now and that happened?
Yeah, if I'm honest, I don't know that it would have been as big of a deal if it happened now. I think that capture, like, we were talking earlier about taking that opportunity, like my dad taking that opportunity. I think that the opportunity there was a lot more of an opportunity then, as opposed to what the opportunity one video creates now. I mean, it does create an opportunity, but you have like 2 days to seize that.
And literally, if not, it's gone. It's on to the next guy.
Yeah, and so you have to, capitalize on it really quickly. And
that's so true. And
I just don't feel like there's a lot of one-hit wonders now, really.
No, that's a good point. Like I feel like that would be like a TikTok now. Mm-hmm. That could do the same thing, like 3 million views in a couple days, or even more or less or whatever. But that doesn't scream YouTube video now to me, because now they're all produced, they're all Hollywood looking type videos and stuff. Like that's either a YouTube short or a TikTok. But again, it still have the sense of going viral. It just wouldn't do the same thing. And like, would that have you on the Today Show or Tosh.0 or The Simpsons referencing you?
Yeah,
probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Again, like you said, man, your dad that just so happened to do it at the right time, which is freaking nuts.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree. It was insane. But yeah, definitely don't think it's the same landscape. But I think it was, YouTube at the time was really just an extension of and a free version of America's Funniest Home Videos was really what YouTube was.
Yeah, except you could go on it and find you can be the search engine yourself.
Right, and I actually think I feel like America's Funniest Home Videos, the way that they structured their show, helped YouTube become bigger, because YouTube was just home videos. That was all it was. Our video was a home video. That's all it was. And then, but the reason I think that they helped it inadvertently was my dad had actually looked into putting our video on, sending it in to America's Funniest Home Videos. But when you go on their show, they own the video. They get the rights to the video after that.
Oh.
And so I think a lot of people were turning to YouTube as an alternative because they didn't want to give up the video. And so fair. I think that they played a big part in YouTube becoming a big deal. So
that's insane. One show my dad used to love watching, like me and him would watch it when I was a kid, was was Tosh.0 with Daniel Tosh. And for those who don't know, he was like, I'm trying to think, it was a series hosted and produced by Daniel Tosh, just basically about memes and viral clips and pop culture, etc. And there was an episode with you and your dad. You guys were messing around in a fake dentist's office. You guys were in a van that was supposed to look like when you were in the van. You guys were drawn on your dad's face, etc. So what do you remember about shooting that day?
Man, that was so fun. That was definitely, really, that whole trip was one of the most fun memories from this whole thing. It was a ton of fun. I mean, Daniel Tosh was hilarious. He was funny even off camera, and in a way where it was like he had his camera funny, but then he just had his behind the scenes, and you're just hanging out. And we filmed all day just doing random stuff, and it really just felt like they invited us out there. We were hanging out with him and his crew, and then they happened to record every once in a while. It was really how that day felt. It was it was just super fun. He's a very charismatic guy, and it was just a blast. And it was just, we were doing funny stuff. I got to draw on my dad's face, and my dad, I got to watch my dad jump off of a ladder like 18 times, and it was a fun day. So.
That's really cool. And that's so different from like more formal stuff, again, where you're on the Today Show or CBS or whatever, like when they're asking the most generic questions about whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and like I said, that was just, and I mentioned it was one of the most fun trips because, I mean, there's a lot of elements to it. It was my first time to the West Coast ever. And then going to California and getting to try In-N-Out and doing all that stuff for the first time. And then that was the same trip where Jimmy Kimmel had tried to have us on his show multiple times. And
really?
But his show's on ABC, and then ABC is owned by Disney, and they didn't want like kids with drugs on his show. That was the whole. It was kind of dumb.
So dumb. You're not on there smoking weed. You're on there talking about the dental procedure you had.
I'm having a official medical procedure. Anyway, it was so dumb. But when he found out we were in town for that same trip, he had us come out to the studio, and we just like hung out with him, and he ended up buying my dad and I tickets to go see the first Avatar had just come out. And so he bought us tickets to go see that. And it was just a great time. So that was just overall, it was a great trip. Daniel Tosh was great. And then Jimmy Kimmel, it was just all awesome. So
I'm surprised you weren't on Ellen.
They asked, and I think that my parents I don't think that they wanted me on the show because of some of the other, there was like some more adult content on the rest of the episode. My parents have gotten super lax. But I think it was very early. And so I think they were just nervous early on in the video. I mean, and so they were just nervous about, because at that time, their point of reference was Charlie Bit My Finger and the Star Wars kid. And the Star Wars kid so they're just worried about making my life hard.
Right.
And so I think they were worried about who I was going on a show next to and things like that. Meaning like if I was going to look bad in a way that brought me, negative attention, I think they were just nervous about. So
that's fair. Because again, she had every kind of viral person on. That must what does that feel like being in that I guess group of people, like the Charlie Bit My Fingers, Charlie the Unicorn, Double Rainbow, like you are a part of a weird type of early YouTube like that. Do you actually ever sit back and think what the heck is my life?
Yeah, honestly, no, absolutely. I mean, and like I was saying earlier, it feels like back then all these people were, it was home videos was what it was. And so I feel like you had almost weirder videos, weirder meaning just super random stuff. I mean, the Star Wars kid, Charlie Bit My Finger, you know, Grumpy Cat, the Double Rainbow guy, the Chocolate Rain got Tazon
Oh,
Day.
Chocolate Rain, Tazon Day, yeah.
I mean, everyone was just doing such. It was just all weird, unique, random things, and so it definitely the videos just felt different at the time. YouTube felt different, and it was fun to be a part of that subset of, you know, legacy YouTube videos for sure.
Oh, cool.
So.
I remember, I mean, they're kind of controversial now because they're not the greatest guys in the world, but the Fine Brothers, when they did Kids React, I think it was either the first or one of the first videos of Kids React, they reacted to David After Dentist, which I think is pretty cool because they were massive at the time.
Yeah, I remember all of that. I didn't start watching them a ton till, you know, a few years after they had done my. I haven't watched them in a long time, honestly, probably for the same reasons you said. But yeah, I forgot about that one. But that was fun. That was a funny one to watch and see live reactions of people watching the video because I'd never seen that before except showing it to someone in person and watching them react.
Exactly. And I just wrote it down quickly, but like Justin Bieber recreated the video, Joseph Gordon-Levitt recreated the videos. I mentioned the Simpsons referenced it, and it was in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Like it was literally everywhere. And then I read that you guys quickly became YouTube partners because, again, I know we keep mentioning, but YouTube was different at the time, so it was a lot quicker of a process to become YouTube partners, where obviously you receive a portion of the ad revenue. And I know you guys also sold David After Dentist t-shirts and donated portions of it to dental charities, which I think is so cool. Was that your dad's idea or your parents' idea?
Yeah, that was their idea. And they did, it was Project Smile, I believe is what it was called. And they did a lot procedures for cleft palate specifically was their big focus. So that was, we did a lot of fun videos and would record stuff and help them put it on commercials and things like that. So, or ads that showed up, you know, wherever they would. That's really cool. So it was, that was a fun time.
Sometimes some people just take all the money and just like don't do anything good with it. So that's awesome. Obviously I know like your dad was the one who filmed the video and stuff. And so in all these things you guys are doing, like the interviews, going to film content with other people, etc., it's just you and your dad. Was your mom happy with that? She didn't want to be kind of on camera, or was she kind of a little jealous?
No, I think that my mom was, sometimes she would be on stuff. I think the Today Show she was on with.
Okay.
So she had her moments, and she did a lot of stuff for us too. I mean, my mom knows a lot about, what's it called? She knows a lot about, you know, proprietary, you know, law and like copyright law and things like that through work. And so she helped us in like that type of thing. And for a while, she did kind of what I was talking about earlier about how at the beginning they were nervous about the reaction to the video. So for a while, her nightly routine was like combing through the comments and just making sure, So, and it was just, and I do get it when you've got a kid on a video, you don't know what people are gonna say, like, and I do think it got to a certain point where it was just so much to keep up. She was like, "This is just not, you know." You're not really going to stop anything at that point from.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, how could she even like keep up with all of those comments?
Yeah.
Wow, right after 140 million views now, like it's like you're never going to get to every single bad comment.
Yeah. No. Exactly. So that they quickly learned that lesson after not that long. But
I read that. Like that. Like some people, there was a portion of people that had like negative reaction to it, like. You were being not, maybe used isn't the right term, but like I don't know, like people didn't think it was right that they had a video of you where you couldn't consent or whatever to it, which I think is kind of silly, and I'm sure you kind of think the same thing.
I think it was really. It was what people the comments we would get was really nothing more than what you would get on any video today. I just think again at the time you just don't understand yet that people are just saying something to say something and to just participate in something, or, you know, to just get attention to themselves, or whatever the many reasons we now know people do that stuff for. We just didn't know. And I think, again, especially coming in that mindset where my parents were just wanting to do right by me and, you know, care for me. So then when I think my parents started to perceive that people thought my dad, that they were exploiting me, and people would, and this is when we realized that it was dumb, was people would say things like, why are you recording your son in a vehicle, like a moving car? And I'm like, you can literally see in the back of the car that it's not moving. So
yeah, your dad's driving like this and trying to film behind. Like, that's so stupid.
It's so dumb. And you can see through the back of the car
It's not moving.
we're stationary. And so it was just, I think at that point you're like, okay, these people are just not.
Yeah.
So, but I think in a way we almost brought attention to what they were saying, because we were just learning that. I feel like the internet itself was learning that that's how, you know, some people just exist on the internet. And so, yeah. I think
that's fair.
Yeah.
After all this and it going so crazy for like that chunk of time, do you remember when it really started to die down? Like, was it kind of slowly, or was it just like all of a sudden, like the valve was shut off type thing?
I'm trying to remember the first point it happened. I mean, after a couple of years, it fizzled out for a little bit, but honestly, ever since, it has just ebbed and flowed the same way. I mean, it's been like, you know, 8-9 months, whatever arbitrary period of time, nothing will happen, and then all of a sudden, I'll get, you know, 2 or 3. Like, actually, like talking with you is the second or third thing I've done within the last month.
Wow. Okay.
After like 8, 9, 10 months of just nothing. And so it's just funny. It's like it's very cyclical, and it feels like something, it shows up in threes. And so it's kind of been that same cycle for, you know, good 10, 15 years.
Makes sense, especially I'm sure when you hit the 10-year mark. And dude, can you believe the 20-year mark is coming up? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
That makes me feel old, and I'm not even 30 yet. Like, I couldn't imagine how your dad feels the fact that that's almost a 20-year-old video.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's gonna be I don't know.
You got to do something, man. You guys got to start planning. Like, I don't know what, but like maybe a recreation. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll do something. I mean, or maybe we'll just make like some compilation video of all the different things we've done, and like this, or I don't know. That might be a fun thing to do, because then we've also, because we did the Today Show again for the 10th anniversary of YouTube. We were on the Today Show twice, so we've done a lot of the celebrations for, you know, YouTube anniversaries. So who knows what they'll want to do. So.
I know the 20-year mark's it should be a big one. I mentioned about you guys auctioning off David After Dentist as an NFT, and obviously 5-6 years ago, like, NFTs were massive. So I know you guys ended up using the money for your and your brother's college tuitions, like, towards it. Was that kind of like the point of it right from the start when you guys came up with the idea? And where did the idea come from to make it an NFT?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it was, the NFTs were very new, and we have an agent who we kind of work with. He's not so much like, it's not like he's our guy specifically all the time, but he does a lot of internet memes. And so we work with him every now and again. And he really was, him and my dad kind of brainstormed the idea, and they thought it would be something fun to do. And, you know, we had seen a lot of the success of, you know, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and, like, you know, all of that. I mean, 5-6 years ago.
Dogecoin.
Yeah. And it was just kind of, it was one of those things where you're like, is this silly to try and tap into it? Is it not? And we just kind of thought it would be fun to try. And so we decided to give it a try. And we did make sure to, because, you know, those NFTs work, it's kind of like the person owns that chunk of whatever. And so we just made it like, we didn't make it the official video. an NFT. It
Okay,
was.
so what is the NFT then?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
Like,
that's honest.
I think we made like a clip, like a 10-second clip of the video. I think it was like the scream or something like that was what we made the NFT. So
that's not bad, man. For 13 grand for you guys, that ain't bad. 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and again, too, it was also, I mean, who else? Someone else had just done, like, I think
Charlie Bit My Finger did it.
Charlie Bit My Finger did it, and then the Nyan Cat did it too. And it was a huge thing. And so, yeah, I don't know. We were just trying to figure out what to. We're just trying to, like I said earlier, taking like the opportunities. I mean, it's just trying to know what opportunities there are to take and what's just kind of the internet being the internet at that.
And it's also nice to know that you guys didn't do the whole thing. And I'm sure from the start, that was probably the idea, that it was never going to be the whole thing.
Yeah, no. And especially that early on in like NFTs being a thing and how the ownership works. And
yeah, look at them now. I don't even think NFTs, like, remember like Bored Ape and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
It's like those aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's funny you brought it up just now, and I just totally forgotten about it. So I feel like digital currency in general just has kind of not been a huge topic of discussion recently. So
it seemed like people were just like, it became a thing during COVID just because there was nothing people could physically do. Maybe there was a correlation there, and then obviously as things opened up and stuff went back to normal, they kind of fizzled off. I don't know if those actually connect, but
no, I agree.
So, like other people, like you said, the Nyan Cat, Charlie Bit My Finger, Tezonde, etc. Did you get to meet any of these people that you kind of went viral with at the same time?
I've gotten to meet a few of them. I met the one that I've met the most frequently is Tezonde. I've seen him a ton. I saw him last year in New York. We were both on the Tamron Hall show together with Glozell. She was the one she was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The Cinnamon Challenge girl.
Yes. Well, yeah.
She was super nice. Really, really cool person. She was honestly, out of the three of us, she felt like at least the most anticipated person on the episode. She was the biggest deal because she's more recent and she's kind of kept up her media presence. So she was a big deal, and it was really, really cool to me. I mean, because she was a little later.
True. Yeah, because I think Cinnamon Challenge was like 2012, 2013.
Yeah. So I was honestly excited. I was just excited to meet her myself too, because I mean, I loved that video when it came out. So I thought it was hilarious. I remember it. But yeah, definitely Tezonde is the one that we've, I'm sure I'll see him plenty again. I mean, we just always end up at the same thing. So same event. Yeah. So
that's really cool. Now I think you said you were in university now. So what are you taking?
So I went to I'm in my graduate degree now. So I'm studying computer science. That was what I did in my undergrad, and I'm doing it again now. So at Georgia Tech here in Atlanta. So
that's sick. Nice. Yeah. You quickly mentioned this a couple minutes ago, but kind of keeping up with like that being viral and being famous thing. Obviously, that's not something that like you're not making YouTube videos, you're on an influencer, etc. Was that never a thing like you wanted to do?
I think it was. I mean, we had a few different thoughts at the time. I mean, I think we went back and forth, tried to do a few things. I mean, Gangnam Style, that was a huge thing right after. We tried that one. What else did we did? There was what was the one where everyone just froze in place?
That was the fraud mannequin challenge?
Yeah, no.
Oh, the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, the Harlem Shake. Well, that was another one. No, that was the same video. That was the same one.
And then they all start moving. But yeah, mannequin challenge where they don't move.
Right. So we did those. So we tried to toy around with it for a bit. But I think that after the video and for a long time, I was just kind of, I wanted to enjoy what happened when it happened, but I wasn't I was like, I've got other stuff I'm going to go pursue, not running away from it per se, but just focusing on other stuff. So it's not been more till recently that I've been like, you know what? It's like, I wonder what there is to explore with it.
Yeah,
even though it's
I think that'd be kind of cool. Like even like a day-to-day sometimes on a YouTube channel of seeing like what you're doing. Yeah, I know you may not think it's the most exciting thing in the world, but I feel like people want to know what is David from David After Dentist doing nowadays. And I know these interviews help with that as well, but like clearly you're a private person because I think your Instagram's even private.
Is it really?
I swear it is. I'm pretty sure that I had to send a request to follow you. I might sound like I'm making that up, but
I think I might have it private. I had thought about making it. Oh yeah, it is private.
It is. Yeah, see, so that's what I mean. Like then that's where I get you want maybe a little bit more of a private life and like kind of be in the spotlight when you want to.
Yeah, I mean I there was definitely that for an element of that for a while, I think. Because my dad's like personal account on Instagram and the David After Dentist account are kind of on the same account. And so that was just kind of where, and he was the one who, took charge of everything for a long time. And I've kind of been helping out or taking over in a lot of ways with it in recent years. And as a part of kind of what I'm talking about, like exploring what it would look like to get back into it. And so I think actually on his or our account, I guess, whatever you want to say now, he's in the description, he says, this is David, like this is his actual account. Okay. So I've thought about making it public. I just hadn't taken the time to.
I mean, you're a little busy at school. I don't blame you.
yeah. Especially it just started too, so pretty swamped. So.
Fair. Now in 2026 or even like the last couple years, how often does that come up with like people you meet, or like does your girlfriend tell people like, oh my god, that's like my boyfriend's David from David After, like, and things like that, like just to bug you? Like how often do those kind of things come up?
I'll have some friends every now and again tell somebody.
You get embarrassed, or like are you like I know.
When I was younger, I think my dad would tell people all the time. And I would tell him like, hey, can you just like give me a heads up when you're going to tell somebody? And sometimes I would say, hey, I just kind of I don't want to do that right now. But as I've gotten older, it's been more fun. And I usually tend to, unless my girlfriend tells somebody, or my friends or whatever, I tend to just kind of let people find out if they do.
Yeah, I know you're not obviously introducing yourself as David After Dentist.
Yeah, no, I mean like, the funniest one was my I was wondering how, because I'm 2 years into my job that I got out of college, and I never told anybody, and I wondered how they would figure it out. And I had done, during my senior year of college, I had done an interview on campus with actually the Today Show again. They did a segment of me in like, where are they now kind of thing.
Is that when you guys were sitting on like a bench outside and your dad's there too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's at the University of Florida. So that was like on campus. I was wearing like the Gator jersey and everything. So, but I forget where I was going with that.
Did people like see like why are you filming that?
Yeah, they did. They did see us filming that, which I think was super funny. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just never really had too much of an issue with people. I think like I remember where I was going with that. That was my senior year, and I guess the University of Florida got pictures of that and they posted it on LinkedIn, months later. And that was how my people at work found out, because I liked it on LinkedIn, and then they saw it and then they found that I was the After Dentist. So it's just, I'm always like, I'll just let it happen, and somehow somebody finds out or somebody tells somebody or whatever. So.
I mean, and honestly, dude, like obviously you're a lot older and like maybe your hair's a little bit longer, but like you look really similar when you did.
I know. I've got a baby face for sure. So, and I think, and even then, even though, I've got like a baby face, I think it was different enough for people to not recognize me very often until when I got into college and people were videos were being posted of me as I look now, and then people know, okay, that's me, and then they were recognizing me from videos of me now.
Right.
So
No, that's
when I think people started to recognize me more. So
unreal. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Last thing I got for you, and I ask every guest this question, is what is the one thing you miss most about being a kid?
Oof, what's the one thing I miss most about being a kid? I think just I miss the not being bogged down with random annoying adult tasks and just the freedom of being a kid and everything's so simple. I think about that regularly. Where my biggest worry was, you know, when am I going to be done with my math homework so I can play video games, or, you know, what's for dinner or something like that. When those are my biggest stressors, I feel like life's pretty good. So
the best is that, like, we used to worry about like what our parents were making for dinner. Now the biggest adult struggle is trying to figure out what to eat for dinner every day.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But it's a total different type of stress. There's like the first one's kind of out of excitement, and the other is out of burden of a task that you have to get done. So
and money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer, dude. I love that. Well, David, man, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. It's cool that after almost 20 years, I was able to talk to you. So yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for having me. This is a ton of fun.
We'll have to get you on again when it comes up to the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
Awesome. Thanks, David. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. All right, talk to you later.
And that was the Quinn Marr Show.